Matt Gay now ready to get this one started. And we're off and running from Houston. Dameon Pierce now to return it. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Now begin with a run by Mixon. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Second and 3 now. From the 32. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that really well covered Kate on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down.
Here we go.
Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. But give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
Fields this at the 19. And he's brought down before the return gets far. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And the Colts will take over. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Richardson throwing to start out. It's caught. Warren. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
1st down throw here from Richardson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
All right, 1st sack on the board and the 1st drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
He locates Adonai Mitchell.
Well, that is a well-designed route right there. He really made it easy to get that pass to him. Creating space, QB receiver, deliver.
3rd and short yardage here, Richardson. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Colts going to kick this away now on 4th, and it's Rigoberto Sanchez on for the punt. Surprisingly had to punt 5 times in last week's win, and he sends this away. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. That just misses the 50 mark, gets a 49-yard punt. And the Texans' drive is going to start from deep in their own territory. Stroud throwing here on 1st. Completed over the middle. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Now for that defense, who puts a sack on the board.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Try getting it to Nico Collins. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Nico Collins, the intended target. And that brings up 4th and long. Tommy Townsend on to punt. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. He takes this in on his side of midfield. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And it's going to be their football coming up. Here's the first carry for Jonathan Taylor. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. Man in motion here. 2nd and 10 now. Oh, put some heat on this deep ball. He's got it inside the 10. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. Taylor now up the middle. And this is brought to a halt pretty early at about the 8. It's a gain of 2 on the play. Still some work to do on 2nd and goal.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
They've got a man in motion. To throw, Richardson. Escapes the pocket. And he carries it in for the touchdown. The Colts take a 6-0 lead in the 1st quarter. It's an Anthony Richardson touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith. Right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. So new kickoff rules. This is going to come out to the 30, not the 25 on the touchback. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Stroud. And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that end. Stays out of bounds. We've got 2nd down.
The coverage by Charvarius Ward.
So a very early challenge, but a good one. Calls overturned, and that's going to unlock a 3rd challenge for them if it gets to that point later in this game. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's in! Touchdown, Houston! The Texans reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Nico Collins with a touchdown. Here's Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Texans tie this game 7-7. set up for the kickoff. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Taylor gets it to begin the drive. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Here's 2nd and 11. That's complete to Pittman. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
On the counter, it's Taylor. It'll be a quality gain on the run, and that also brings us to the end of this quarter. 1 quarter down in this all-AFC South contest. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. Ready now for our 2nd quarter. The Colts have the football. They start with 2nd and 6. Play action with Richardson. Warren's got it. Complete. He's forward. Gets a couple of yards. Play made by E.J. Speed.
You know, Kate, that really is one of the benefits that comes with experience. You'll feel it. Right? Look at the quarterback. Never seeing the rush. Never looking at the rush. Instead, eyes are downfield and the big play follows.
Shotgun snap now to Richardson. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
You know, that is so hard to do. It's called body control. Great positioning to swat the ball away, not go through the receiver, no penalty flag. He's got the body control and, more importantly, the timing to knock that ball away.
Nice kick there. It's a punt of 53 yards. And it's going to be Texans football. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Stroud off the play fake. Catch is made down the right sideline. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. 1st and 10, run to Mixon. And he could only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Makes the grab in bounds left side. That play good for 17 and a 1st down.
I'm sure Coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
That's one you watch the next day, and as a quarterback, you want that throw back. Quarterbacks are perfectionists, and when it's caught just out of bounds, you know it could have been just a little more accurate.
On target to his back, Joe Mixon. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Completed to his running back. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
They're going to run here. It's Mixon. Will score. It's a Houston touchdown. The Texans take a 2nd quarter lead. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. Fairbairn connects on the extra point. And the Texans break that tie and now lead by 7. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And he's out of bounds, approaching the 25, couple yards short at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. They give to Taylor, right side. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Richardson on 3rd. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down. The Colts are ready for the punt. Rigoberto Sanchez will kick it away. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Fielded just beyond his 40. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. On play action, here's Stroud. Has his man, it's Mixon. And he gets it through the midfield stripe and onto the Colts side of the field. We've hit the 2-minute warning now at NRG. And it's the Texans who have 2nd and 4. Putting a receiver in motion. Shotgun now for Stroud. Hits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down. Looking to throw, Stroud. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down. Nico Collins, the intended target. So 2nd down coming up.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get 2 hands on it the next time.
And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
And he's brought down after a short gain.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
To the air yet again, it's Stroud. This throw is caught. Touchdown, Houston. Fairbairn now for the PAT. extra point sent right down the middle. And the Texans double their lead to 14. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
They've got first and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Back to throw it. He puts some air under this one, deep right. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. Here's Matt Gay for the Colts field goal. This from 40 on the right hash. Up and good from Fairbairn. And that'll get him back to 11. We've reached the midway point of this contest. 2 quarters down and an exciting 2 to go. The NFL on EA Sports returns after this. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Huard, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half.
Taimi Fairbairn at the kickoff for Houston.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Richardson. He's going to lob one deep down the left sideline. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Looking for Michael Pittman Jr. on that throw. And we'll see what they do here on second down. Straight ahead with Taylor. And he's brought down up across the 30-yard line. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
You know, ball skills are not just a selling point for receivers entering the draft. Teams want defenders, especially in this day and age of the passing game, who can make plays on the ball too, especially on these deeper throws. He doesn't swat that one away. We could be looking at a huge game.
And a big hit on the return to stop it cold. We don't get a return out of that punt. And they're going to take over possession. Ball at the 33 for first down. Off the play fake, he'll throw. He puts some power on a deep one left. He's got it inside the 25. He goes the distance. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans push their lead further to start the half. Point after up and good by Fairbairn. And the Texans push their lead to 18. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Kickoff taken at the 3. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down.
Take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
They've got first down from the 31. Now Richardson to throw. This finds Mitchell complete. He's got a gain of 6 there. Kalen Bullock up to make the stop.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Pass caught along the sideline by Mitchell. Give him 30 yards on that one. And it'll be first down, Colts.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
This is reeled in by Pittman. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Has it down close. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
There's just no question about it. He has the license to adapt a little bit, to diagnose plays because they trust his instincts. And there, well, it was all on display. Expert-level diagnosis going on to see a potential run and get in position to stop it behind the line.
And he has the Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
And he has it in the end zone for 2, and that's going to chip away a little bit at that deficit. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Pierce now on the return. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. He's racing past midfield. And he's finally out of bounds. Looks like a step or two before the 30. Offense is going to be thinking touchdown here.
Well, by the time he shifted into a different gear and began that foot race up the left sideline, you could tell this return was already getting out of hand. And what a gift for this offense, who now gets to take over with a lot of the work in the field position already done.
And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down. From the 29. He's got it near the 10. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Mixon will not challenge for the end zone. He loses a bunch here. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Again, they give to Mixon. And he pushes them a little closer to the 3.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
Mixon on 3rd and goal. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused, and they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
Everly's kick is good. And that pushes the lead up to 13.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
Return starts at the 3. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. Short pass caught by his tight end. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, with the score
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First down throw here from Richardson. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Taken in by Pierce. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And it's good for an Indianapolis 1st down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. They'll throw again. Richardson. He's going deep this time. Big gain downfield. He has the Indianapolis touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one splits the uprights. And the Colts get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. So new kickoff rules. This is going to come out to the 30, not the 25 on the touchback. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. He's throwing deep to the left side. Wide open, downfield. Got it! Touchdown, Houston! The Texans make it a 2-possession game here in the 4th. So now the Texans decide not to pull the offense. They're not kicking. They're going for 2. They put a receiver in motion here left. They give it to the back on the zone read. And he's into the end zone for 2. That sets him up with a 14-point lead. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. He stopped on the return at the 27.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. Taking the deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
The offense not shy about sending them downfield to try and stretch that secondary. Even still, one of the deeper targets you'll see him get. It's a shame they couldn't find a connection.
They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. It's caught, Warren. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win. And there aren't a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Working quickly here. They'll motion him out of the backfield. Here he goes. Got to have this on fourth down. On target to Downs. And he's touched as they pick up that first down on fourth.
Oh, so close to getting off the field. But the fourth down conversion keeps that defense out there. That was their shot to end this possession, sit on the bench to get their breath. But now they're going to have to buckle down and force another fourth down.
From the gun, Taylor. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
All right, here we go. Second down. Shotgun snap now to Richardson. The Texans close it in, and they will get him. And that pushes him back. Third down coming up.
In a situation like this, you got to be a fixer. I mean, this game is hard, and you get into passing, known passing situations, it gets even more difficult. But when you don't get rid of the ball and you take another sack, you make this third down a near impossibility.
Third and long, it's Richardson. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. Fourth down coming up. Trying to throw for it with Richardson. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Texans will take over as he records his first interception of our season. Wow, an aggressive choice to go for it on fourth and that kind of distance. And an equally aggressive play in coverage to pick that pass off.
Yeah, that down and distance, you're not running it, right? Too far to get to the stick, so that defense had all eyes on the quarterback. They knew that pass was coming. And it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to execute it and go take it away. That's a big momentum swing for this defense.
First down, Stroud. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. Shotgun now for Stroud. Caught, nice gain left side. And a huge run comes to an end as he heads out of bounds. Wow. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. A give to Mixon up the middle. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. That takes us to the 2-minute warning in Houston. Texans about to stay unbeaten once again. They'll try again from the 4. It's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Mixon goes the wrong way and is going to lose several here.
This offense may want to try and disguise their run a little bit. I don't know if it's the O-lineman's stance. I don't know if it's a cadence. I don't know what it is, but after 2 straight plays going backwards, this defense is all over them.
Running with Mixon out of the gun. And he'll get this across. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans make it a 3-score game in the 4th. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. Fairbairn connects on the extra point. And the Texans stretch their lead to 21. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. To throw, Richardson. Buys time, rolling right. And they crush him right near the marker. Looks close, but yep, Brock, I think he safely got that 1st down before the hit. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. On 1st down, it's Richardson. Hooks up with Anthony Gould, complete. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. Richardson now on 1st and 10. It is caught at the 20. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 31-yard play. And it'll be 1st down, Colts. Working inside the red zone. And that one's picked off in the end zone, but no, incomplete, folks. He wasn't able to stay in bounds. So it's the Texans who defend their building and take the win. And as we